So I have an awesome video this time. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I got the Mustang to go looking from this to this. So full disclaimer, I am not a professional by any means, and in fact, most of this project was a learning experience for me. And it's still nowhere near the fit and finish I want it to be. That's mainly because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But that's kind of the whole purpose of doing it, because how do you learn other than just doing it, right? So, as you can see here, things are not perfect. Things need to be addressed. Things are a little rough around the edges. But the main idea is there, and this side was pretty much a learning experience for me. I did not really know what I was doing until I started doing it, and well, there's gonna be a lot more work to be done. But one thing I want to do in this video, since that side's pretty much done minus the small minor things to kind of just finish it up, the next thing I want to do is obviously get this side done. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and record doing this side, and hopefully I can get it to match the other side. So we're going to take this piece, which after doing that side I learned that there will be more cutting involved, and this will of course be the last step. This goes on after everything is done with the side scoop. So what we'll do is we will kind of just set it in place. We'll put a little bit of glue just to kind of hold it in place, and then while that's sitting there like that, we'll get some fiberglass, cut some strips, and pardon me while I try to hold this and the camera, and all the same time we'll cut some strips, lay some strips across this top here, and start fiberglassing it in, and then we'll move on to the next step. So before I start doing anything, what I want to do is I just want to rough up the surface a little bit. So I have like 80 or so grit paper here, and I'm just going to go about where the scoop was going to sit. So it's going to sit along this part here. So I'm just going to go ahead and where I'm going to be fiberglassing things in, lightly scuff up the surface. Alright, that will do. Alright, next step, I'm just going to go ahead and, while this probably isn't the best method, it's quick, easy, and it worked on the other side. So a little bit of spray there and microfiber cloth to try to take off any dust or other stuff that might be sitting on the surface. So I just discovered that I ran out of super glue, and I do not feel like going up to the store and getting another thing of it. So I'm just going to mix up some resin, fiberglass resin, and I'm just going to brush a little on there and use that to stick it. And gotta put on gloves. You know, that's a sound you really never want to hear. Oh boy. Okay. Just actually, I probably didn't even need that much. You know, I got that the old Six Flags commercial song. You know, the old guy gets off the bus. Yeah, I got that stuck in my head. I don't know why. Mix that up. Let's get a brush. Let's go put this on the car. So resin was not sticking the way I wanted it to. Perhaps I didn't put enough hardener in, but that's why we have clamps. Did I mention I'm not a professional? All right, I got some fresh resin mixed up, ready to go here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try not to get it literally everywhere. Oh, that's gonna be a mess. So I'll go ahead and brush it on my surface here. Here, across here, over here. Oh my god. That is gonna be a huge mess. Alright. Got some strips cut here, and I'm just gonna lay them on. So something I noticed that my big dummy self just realized. For some strange reason, I don't know why, but this side, if you look down the side of the car, it's not that far away, the vent piece to the body, which is preferable. This is the way I would like it. But I did the other side first, and well, somewhere along the way, things just got a little bit, you know, different, and there's just a lot more space here. So what I'm probably going to do is fix this side to eventually match what the other side will be, but for the time being, to get to the other side the way I want it, on that side I had actually used the fiberglass, and I stuck it inside between the fender and the scoop, you know, like that, folded it up more or less. But it was hard to sand it, and it really just didn't have a nice look. But since this is the way it is, what I'll probably do on this side to keep the inside looking nice is just go underneath and glass it in underneath like that, which would be a lot better, both aesthetically and still provide, you know, structural benefits. So, well, it looks like I just made a lot more work for myself. Let that harden up. Hey, so if it looks like I'm wearing different clothes, that's because it's a different day. And I ran out of time yesterday. I got too late, so I couldn't finish. But what happened is the fiberglass I put on is now dry, and it's ready to be sanded. It's a little dusty. So for anyone wondering, this is 60 grit sandpaper, just to knock down all the little hairs and get it mostly leveled out. I'm gonna work on it just a little bit more. Whew. And then clean it off, and we could probably start shaping it with some Bondo. Alright, so now I got everything sanded. We just have to mix up some Bondo and throw it over what we just sanded and let it dry, and, well, do it again. Nice and thick.
Hey, you suck!
Just the way I like it. Okay, that's actually might be a little too thick. It's not coming out of the can. Come on. Come on, what, I gotta pay you or something? Jesus.
Where'd you come from? Sucktown?
Mesmerizing. Look at that. Alright, let's go to the car. Now, one of the cool things about this whole project is it has taught me a lot of things through just trying, and I haven't really done much research on that at all, but just doing it, realizing what's working, what's not working, and correcting it the next time I do it. One of those things I noticed is when I put the first layer of Bondo on the other side, I put it on extremely thick. I didn't thin it out like this, I didn't fill in the crevices, and I didn't work it around as much. I just kind of like globbed it on there, smoothed it out a little bit, and called it a day. Well, what I noticed was happening is the gaps weren't getting filled correctly, so when I went to go sand it, it would just sand down and those gaps would still exist. So I had to do this multiple times until I realized what I was doing wrong. And then I started putting it on thin like this and scraping it into all the different areas where the fiberglass is before I sand. Okay, so the Bondo has set up a little bit. I'm gonna take Andy. Wow, I can't talk. 80 grit sandpaper and just go over it, kind of knock down some of the edges and bumps. So I went ahead, I sanded everything down, got it nice and smoothed out. Still some imperfections, a couple bumps here and there I can feel, which is why we're gonna go and do another layer with some Bondo. Well, hello. It's a new day. Can't you tell I'm wearing different clothes? And I got my safety equipment on because we have to trim this plastic piece here. I learned while doing the other side that, well, as you can see, this is not going to work. So this has to be trimmed, kind of with the radius of the natural fender arch here. And then we'll be good. So let's get started on that. So do any of you ever just sit here and, you know, just want to rev up your Dremel? You know, you're just like... Hey, it's a rotary! Alright, so that is looking pretty good. Did I ever mention that I'm not a professional? Alright, so I have everything sanded down with 40 grit and, I'm sorry, 400 grit sandpaper, and it's all smoothed out. I got it all wiped down, and we are pretty much to kind of mask everything up and put a layer of primer on it. So let's go ahead and get started with that. That looks a lot better. I mean, it don't look great, but it looks a lot better. Everything's kind of matching. It's all the same color. You ain't got like 50 different types of color going on, so yeah, this side came along really nice. So I'm ready to put the Fender Flare on, and what I'm using to hold it on is a high strength black silicone. All right, well, it is all clamped up. It's probably going to take, I don't know, I think the other side will let it set overnight. It's not super fast drying and or setting silicone, so it's best just to leave it be for a little bit and let it dry. We'll come back to it once it does set up. Here is the mostly finished product. I ended up correcting this side and pulling it in more. This is pretty much as even with the other side as I can get it. Otherwise, it is as good as it's gonna get. Still have to put little corner pieces on here, and that's about it. All right, that is it for this video. I'll have another video following up soon on basically fixing this lovely gap here between the tire now and this Fender Flare. Basically, I'm gonna take the 1-inch spacers off the rear wheels, put them on the front wheels, and that should fix the gap issue. And then once I do that, I'm gonna have to take some measurements and I'll have to order some wider spacers for the rear wheels to kick them out a little bit further, probably another 1/4 inch or so, because I am gonna put flares on the rear wheels as well, so they're gonna be a little bit wider than they are now. So that'll be in the next upcoming video, so keep a lookout for that. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family. And if you want to see more content like this, then go ahead and give the channel a subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos coming up. This is my neighbor's dog, Tank. Tank is just a big goof. Aren't ya? And you like to play. And protect his ball. Come on, you want to protect it? Huh? You want to protect it? You want to protect it? He's such a goof.